Oh, let me get myself situated here. Okay, so hello all. There's been lots going on. Um, Let me start with getting rid of this, moving some windows around so that I have things better situated for myself. Okay, welcome in, everyone. I want to start with stories off the stack. So I mentioned this sometime last year, but I didn't really go into it yet because I was waiting for the new year to kind of discuss with you what my ideas were and reasoning for this thing. So, what is stories off the stack? So, within the last year, I have been slowly but surely putting together a books directory page. And the books directory page right now is unpublished because I'm trying to make it a little better organized because it was really just an endless list of books. And the idea is if you were sharing your episode chapters as a serial or your short stories, or your poetry or anything that you were sharing on your publication, meaning you were sending it to your subscribers with the purpose of turning it into a book, whether it be ebook or print book. um, I was then taking your published work and putting it in what I'm calling the books directory. So the books directory right now is just books that were put together after they've been shared on your publication. So the idea of stories off the stack is if you are currently in the process of sharing your work, serializing short stories, poetry, whatever the case may be, and your intention is to take that when it's finished and turn it into an ebook or print book to sell on some platform, whether it be your own website, Amazon, wherever. That's what Stories Off the Stack is. So the idea is that you would be making a pledge to say, I am intending to release my work once it's completed for sale in some form, one way or another, in the distant future. So the idea is it's a pledge that you make to take your story off the stack. Make sense so far? Okay. So who is this for? If it's not obvious already, this is for the person who is currently right now releasing a serial, releasing short stories, releasing whatever it is to their subscribers, again, with the intention of turning it into an ebook or some sort of print book that will be for sale for someone to purchase in a later date and time. So, why did I make this? Well, not everyone is doing this just for the sake of doing it. I know there are people out there who are nervous about taking that next step to publish their work. And so I'm hoping that Top and Fiction can be some sort of safe haven for those people to feel emboldened, to feel confident enough in their own work to do that. And I want to, in some way, champion that. So the way that I am choosing to do that is to highlight who you are. So if you are someone who is currently doing a serial, doing whatever the case may be, and your intention is to turn that thing into a purchasable thing later on, a year from now, 2 years from now, but you have started the process, you have started with your table of contents. You have started with all these, whatever things you need to have ready, then you would sign the pledge and you would give me the key information that I need for that to happen. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so what do you need? Um, Well, for starters, you will need a sort of table of contents or at least the first episode of the thing. Because if you don't have that, I need to see and for you to show that you're serious about publishing this thing. And one of the best ways that I insist that you do that is with having some sort of table of contents that shows you're going to put all these things together in this one place, and eventually this thing is going to be available in ebook or print book form. So you'll need a table of contents. Um, you'll need, to at least have started with at least episode one, chapter one, first short story, whatever the case may be. So those are really the only things that you'll need. And you'll need some sort of publication, obviously, a place where you're releasing all this stuff. I hesitate to use Substack publication. I want this just be publication because my intention is hopefully to make this go beyond the walls that are Substack right now. Obviously, this is all happening here, but in the future, it might not. Like, I want to be able to include everyone even beyond these walls. But let's say a Substack publication, which is where you will have your table of contents, which is where you will be housing all of these things as you release them before you eventually turn it into this thing that you're going to publish. Okay. So that is Stories Off the Stack. And later today, there will be a clickable button where you can take the pledge. You can let me know that you have a story that, or a collection, or novel or whatever it is. You'll give me all the information. You'll take the pledge. You'll fill out the form, and then I will take that information and put it on the Stories Off the Stack page so that people can see who is seriously looking to publish their work. And then once you have published it, obviously your work will then move from there to the books directory, and that's the idea. So you'll start at the beginning under the Stories Off the Stack, and then once you've done your thing, you will move into the other area where now what you what you've done, people can now purchase and they can find, and hopefully I will have a better visual representation for how people can purchase things that were started on Substack and are now available to buy off the stack. Okay, moving on and transitioning now to the next thing I want to talk about, which is a bit of a self promotion thing, but it's microzine. So, microzine was something that I started last year because I love. Oh, is one of them missing? Shoot. Oh, no, it's here. Okay, because I love microfiction, and I write microfiction, as many of you might know or not know. I am the self-proclaimed queen of 100 word stories. I've been writing 100 word stories because for almost 700 consecutive days. I think I'm on day 600 at like 58 or 59. And my intention is to go all the way to 1,000, and then from when I hit 1,000, I'll decide what to do next. But anyway, so I came up with this idea of making microzines. And so, if you're aware at all that zines are these little self-made booklet type things, and you can make uh, anything. You can turn anything into a zine. And so I finally was able to get a template to turn the template into. Um, Something where you can print it yourself if you have a printer at home, black and white, you print it, and then you literally make this zine yourself. And so there were several attempts, and I'll show you each attempt so you can see, like, I had to uh, have a lot of tests with this. So the first one came out horribly wrong, but essentially you see how big it is. It's like it's the smallest thing you've ever seen. It was printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet, but here it is. So it's the zine of Micro Story. So here's the first issue, and you open it up, and I have a little note that I wrote here. Here's two 6 word stories, and then you have another story here, and then I went ahead and took a bit of a story stack. So that's here, and then on the back page, you've got a bit of a blurb of what you've just read, and then you've got the little QR code here where people can scan and they can subscribe to microzine. So here is the zine, right? But this one, as you can see, it's not right because all the pages are wrong. So I was like, oh, had to go back to the drawing board. So then I rearranged it, redid it, and then it came out like this. But as you can see here, it got cut off a bit. So here's attempt number two, which did not come out right. But um, the inside pages also did not, like this whole end here got cut off. Um, so I was close, but not 100% on how it should be. But I will still flip through it here to show you. It's the same thing. Okay, had to try. Again, take three was the charm. And so here it is now in all of its glory. Perfect. At this point, I just had to check a couple of typos and things like that. But otherwise, I got it. So you can print it out. And when you print it out and you fold it up, and I'll um, quickly do one here for you, it will come out perfectly. And so my intention is I'm going to do four of these to make up for lost time, essentially, where last year um, there was a lot of different issues and things like that, but it didn't actually come to fruition. So now I'm going to take some of the stories um, from last year, the 3 or 4 months where Microzine took submissions, take the ones that I really like, and I'm going to turn them into an issue. This is officially issue one, and I will have the PDF download link within the Top and Fiction issue that comes out today. You'll be able to download this. You can print it yourself, fold it up, and create our first at least four issues that'll be coming out. But one thing I did because I had an idea and I want to give out the template so you could do these yourself. I was like, huh, what if I did these for people? What if there were people out there who I really like what they've done and I surprise them with creating a zine and then I just give it to them and I say, hey, I created this zine. Here it is. If you want to share it, you can, or if you just want to keep it for yourself and make this and have your own zine, you can. Um, I'll show you that in a second, but here is the paper printed out. So here's what you would get. You would get this, you would print this out, and it would look like this. I'm going to do a better video of this because I can't do a top down right now with the way this setup is. Um, but essentially, you would fold it in half, really crease it up, and then there would be another bunch of folds. I was hoping to do this live on here with you guys, but like I said, there's no way for me to do a top down in a way that would work doing it live like this. So I'm gonna have to do it separately, record it, and then put it out there so people can see how to create theirs. But um, if you can read this, let me turn it upside down like this. Um, Here is all the pages, which is kind of cool, right? Okay. So my idea that I was telling you, which is that I would take someone's work that I really like and then I would turn it into its own zine. So if you read this here, what I did was I have a post where I tell you how to create your own story stack. So story stack is something that came out of Microzine. And I won't go into too much detail on what it is, but this is a story stack example. This is the example that I did where it's the separation method. There are three different methods to creating a story stack. I just took one of the three and put it here. So I created this little zine, which I will also make available for people to download if they want. Um, and you can fold it up the way I folded up the other one, and you basically have your own story stack where these are all written by me. And it's right here. And I just was so impressed with how that works. I will fold this up and show you what it looks like all folded up. Um, and I'll actually do it right now just because I really want to see what it looks like. I haven't done this one yet. Um, this will test whether or not it actually will work for the average person to do it themselves. But let's fold it up right here and now. I'm such a perfectionist with how I fold these things, so you'll have to excuse me while I want to make sure you get it right on the money, and then you want to kind of do a double crease. So it's folded up like this, and then you want to turn it around, and we're going to fold it again, and we're going to do the crease because there's going to be a tearing that happens afterwards. So I'm going to use my one little broken nail here to really crease it. Okay. And then, so now it's folded in the middle, and then I'm going to fold it back. I need to move my keyboard out of the way. I will try to move quickly to do this. Okay, and then we do the crease again. Okay, so now it's like this. It's just folded in half, and then I'm gonna fold back the pages really quickly here. And let's see how if this comes out right. It should, because I have the template. So if this doesn't come out right, then my template is all messed up, and I'm gonna need to go back to the drawing board. But I don't think it's all messed up. I think I actually figured out the template, which I will give you guys access to the templates, to the blank template, so you can just put whatever you want here. So it comes out like this, and then I'm going to tear. Um, oh, you know what? I did it backwards again. I always end up doing it backwards. So it's supposed to be like this, but that's all right. I'll do it right in the video. And then I'm going to, no, don't tear the wrong thing. Okay. Might have torn it too far, but hold on one second. Okay, so there's the tear. And then I'm going to fold it over, and then it bends like this. And then voila. So now let me just press down a bit. So now here is the um, issue that I made for this is an entire story stack. So when you open it up, you've got a 6-word story here. And then on this page, you've got a 25-word story on the other page. And then you open it up and you've got a 50-word story over here. And then you've got a 100-word story, which goes from this page to this page. And then the idea is whoever wrote this entire story stack, I would then put a little thing to say, okay, you just read this story stack by this person, subscribe to their newsletter, and then their QR code so that they can subscribe to that person's newsletter, and then microzine is right here. Cool, right? So that is so that we can do that for everyone essentially. Okay, so now that is microzine that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The publication is back up. There will be um, weekly prompts. There will be a monthly call for submissions starting March and all that jazz. So you'll want to go and subscribe to Microzine if you want to be a part of that. If you want to get your story basically in one of these in your own in a Microzine that we will be creating and then putting out for people to get themselves for free and create themselves. All you need is a printer, and I will show you how to fold this up so that you can have this, or you could just create your own if you want. Okay, moving on. Now let's get back on track with Top and Fiction stuff. I want to talk about Top and Fiction Presents because it did not go as I had planned, and that's my fault. That's my mistake. So initially, I wanted the first TIFF Presents to be for Valentine's Day, and Meg Olders came up with the theme of um, Return to Sender. Unfortunately, I did not do a good job of saying what the theme was, how it would work, what the purpose of it was. And because of that, we didn't get submissions that really fit the theme the way we wanted. So we never went live on Friday, Valentine's Day, like we had intended. So that was my fault, my mistake. I made a lot of them and I learned my lesson on this so that the next time I decide to do a TIFF Presents, which will be happening in June, by the way, it will be um, better managed, better, done. I apologize to Meg for how it went. It was not at all how I intended it to go. So that was, again, my mistake. And hopefully, with the next one, I will do a better job of promoting it, explaining it, having better guidelines for it. That was another issue. I didn't really have any guidelines, which I should have had in terms of length, when it should be written, all of those things I didn't do. Um, and because of that, it just didn't go the way that I had intended for it to go. So I wanted to apologize to everyone who may have submitted to it and didn't hear about it and wondered what happened. I just wanted to issue a formal apology and say um, we will fix it, and hopefully, many of you and many more of you will participate in the one that's going to be happening in June. Um, which will be around Friday the 13th, the only Friday the 13th happening in 2025. So there will be a horror, obviously themed uh, event that takes place for that date. Um, Starting in April, I will be doing some small teases for it and then major promotion about it starting in May, for the whole month of May all the way through to June 13th. But so there's that. I wanted to just say a bit about that. And lastly, now, I want to talk about the TIFF scholarships and the TIFF magazine. Those are going to be put on hold, and here's why. So I gave a sort of a plea and a call to action for getting top and fiction ambassadors, not ambassadors, sorry, top and fiction team. So I want to put a top and fiction team together where I want people to apply who have an interest in a specific genre. So there are 10 main genres within top and fiction that I want to highlight with a lot of subgenres that go under them. However, I want to make top and fiction uh, more about quality over quantity. And the only way I can do that is if I have people who read certain genres a lot and genres that I don't typically read myself. So I can't be the overall person to say what is good and what isn't in every genre. I need people who are experts in that. So I need your help. And I need people to apply to let me know what genres they would be willing to help me weed out which ones are better than others on a week to week basis. And I have unfortunately not received the kind of um, support and assistance that I was hoping to get. So until I do, I can't um, give a lot of attention to things that I want to do for top and fiction, such as the scholarships, such as the magazine, such as a bunch of other things. They're all just going to have to not happen because right now I can only give my attention to doing what I'm doing currently, which is picking the 20, going live, doing the honorable mentions, creating the PDF, creating the medallions. That's it. Anything beyond that, I need support. I need help. I can't do it by myself. So until I'm able to fill the team 100%, those things are going to have to be on hold. I will continue to ask for people's assistance to help me to join the Top of Fiction team, and I will do so indefinitely until the team is filled. So until such time, unfortunately, I can't. You won't hear me talk about those other things because I can't do them until I have the help that I need in order to devote the time that I would like to devote to those things. So, again, I will have the link for you to apply if you have any interest in reading these specific genres on a weekly basis to help me find who are your favorites or who are the best that wrote in those genres that week. the application will be available in every uh, email that Topic Fiction sends out again until such time as I have a full team in place. Oh, that was a lot. Okay, so now let's get to the part that everyone's been waiting for, which is the Top in Fiction Volume 2, Issue 7, featured stories that were written between February 8th to February 14th, 2025. Poetry: The Exile by Minnie Mayhem of On Behalf of the Void. Micro slash flash fiction: The Science Lesson, written by Andrew Paul Ward of AP Ward's Lit Fic. Chaos Theory, written by Bradley Ramsey of The Writer's Journey. Desiree, written by E.K. MacPherson of Ether Nothings. Sometimes it's just lovely and simple, written by Kimberly Kisner of Kimberly's Writing Fiction with the Door Open. Render Us Rotten, written by Garen Marie of Only Child Originals. And just a side note, this was submitted for Render Us Rotten was submitted for the Top and Fixture Presents Valentine's theme, and it hit it right on the nail, and it was really just so amazing. I had to highlight it in some way, so this is how I'm choosing to do that. Uh, Better Late by J. Kyle Turner of A Fictionalized Account. Short story Mother Lake, written by Sean Thomas McDonnell of Automatic Writer. Tommy, written by Mark Watson of Mark Watson Books. Tetrachrome, written by Jim Minns of Reality Dispatch. Whispers of Chantry Flats, written by Alexander Blaine of Dark Fiction Bodega. Leaky Pipe, written by Zackary San Martin of the Literary Ledger. And The Mananangals Kiss, written by Jessica Maison of Monster of the Week. Short Serial, Wings of Destiny, written by Irshaad of Frantic Writing. Serial, The Ring, Prologue, written by Hanna Delaney of Work of Fiction. The Werewolf of Maria Leaf, in Chapter 22, written by Daniel W. Davison of D.W. Davison. Empress and Soldier, Chapter 14, 3, written by Marion L. Thorpe of History and Imagination. Gelatinous Puddle, The Haunting of Watermill Valley, Chapter 2, written by K. M. Bennett of Scary Spines Serial Fiction. Western Desert, 1997, 38. Desert Misadventures, written by Sue Mann of On the Road to Jericho, a novel. Story Wormholes, My Sister the Spy, Part 4, written by Alice Meredith of A Teapot Full of Tales. Thank you all for being here, for listening. I will catch you all next week for the Top in Fiction Weekly Live number 8. Till then.